We have a lot of extraneous, unnecessary fat. The sheriff was going to sue the county to get his budget. The sheriff should be paying his deputies with the money he is wasting on overstaffing unnecessary commanders-in-chiefs.
That comment came from Jane Gentile-Ude, a candidate for the Flagler County District 4 Commissioner's seat, in a recent free-for-all candidate forum aired on WNZF. That prompted Sheriff Rick Staley to write an opinion letter to the community, in which he called Gentile-Ude the defund the police candidate.
Her stated policies are the exact definition of defunding the police. I encourage every voter to do their own research before Election Day and to vote their conscience for the good of this community.
Staley claims he wasn't making an endorsement in the race, but ended the letter stating he and his wife would be voting for Gentile-Ude's opponent, Leanne Pennington. In an interview with WNZF, Gentile-Ude fired back at Staley.
I never used the word defund the police. He's total slander. He doesn't want me there because he knows very well that if I'm up there, he won't get his big fat cake next year. The budget in 2016 was $18 million. $36 million. He doubled his budget. Yes, he does a good job, but he thinks that the county owes him all our money, and we don't.
Catch the entire free-for-all candidate forum. It's available as a podcast on the Flagler radio app and at flaglerbroadcasting.com. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. The Flagler County Commission approves a 56-home subdivision despite drainage concerns.
The subdivision is to be located around 1,000 feet south of Marine Land's town limits and south of the River du Sea Preserve. Commissioner Andy Dance voiced his drainage concerns.
This isn't the final step. This is approving the PUD and the language that's in there. They're going to come back with a more detailed PUD design document and then the preliminary plat, which is the final engineering construction drawings. Those will both come back to us at the next step. They have a lot of engineering to do, and the commission is aware of some of the other drainage issues we've had in the other neighborhoods, which is what we want to avoid.
Commissioner Joe Mullen stopped Dance's discussion.
I want you to understand you're given a lot of direction, and we hadn't even voted on this.
I was talking to the public.
I understand that.
All right.
But we're looking at the macro view. Staff looked at the micro, and we feel like we're micromanaging here a little bit. And that's not appropriate.
That's what we do.
That is not appropriate. That's what you do. That's not what everybody else does.
What we're supposed to do.
The commission unanimously approved the project with conditions. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
Biketoberfest is always a busy time of year for Flagler County Sheriff's deputies.
Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley says deputies stayed proactive during the weekend, handling 884 service calls, making 213 traffic stops and 21 arrests. A notable arrest was a motorcycle gang member.
He had fled from Ormond Beach Police Department, fled twice from the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. But then, when we saw him the third time and tried to stop him, he attempted to flee, but he ran out of gas.
Then a 20-year-old man is out on bond after fleeing a traffic stop.
We also had a 20-year-old driver flee from the Sheriff's Office deputies in a Prius.
And over the weekend, a 30-year-old convicted felon found with fentanyl and a stolen gun was also taken to jail. On a positive note, Sheriff Staley says no traffic fatalities were reported in the county during Biketoberfest. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
The East Flagler Mosquito Control District can legally only spray at night to fight back against mosquitoes. Mike Martin, one of the district's 3 commissioners, tells us more about the insecticide they use.
We try to do our very best to not spray any more than we have to. It's 16.9 ounces, and this will cover about 18 acres because we use very little. We use what's called ultra low volume spraying, where we aerosolize the chemical, and the droplets are no bigger than 20 thousandths of an inch.
Martin says the insecticide doesn't hurt other creatures because it rarely comes into contact with them.
Basically non-toxic to anything else. The adulticide we use is called Dibrom, and it's designed to break down completely on exposure to air. It's vacuum sealed, so as soon as we open the drum and start loading it in, it's already starting to break down. How long it takes to break down is a function of the temperature, the humidity, the wind, but It breaks down fairly quickly, sometimes as quickly as 15 minutes. And it's designed to float in the air because we don't spray the ground. We spray at night when the mosquitoes are flying, and we create a cloud so that the mosquitoes fly through, they contact the pesticide, and it kills them.
From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.